Hello, this is Arthur Nix, and I'm a HeavyBid contract trainer, and I am based out of St. Petersburg, Florida. My company is EWKS, and my contact information is in the lower left-hand part of this screen. Today, I'm going to discuss setup in HeavyBid of key performance indicators, or better known as KPIs. So KPIs, what are they? Well, they're just ratios. They're just usually in the numerator and the denominator. So things like labor, okay, would be a numerator divided by maybe total cost, or maybe labor divided by total equipment. There's many types of key performance indicators that can help you analyze your estimate. So how can they be accessed? Well, first of all, they're set up in the summary screen, and we're going to go through that process today. Also, you can see them, a customized view in the pricing screen. You can see your customized KPIs. And there's already some KPIs there. As you know, there's the percentage of cost or markup, percent markup, and there's also the margin that is shown there. Now, a third place, which a lot of our customers don't know about that you can access these, and is probably one of the best places, is in the estimate history in our Precon web app. All right, so we're going to discuss all of these features, and but really, what we're going to do most in this particular video is look at setup of these KPIs. Okay, so let's go over here in HeavyBid, and let's take a look at how we set up key performance indicators. First of all, look at your HeavyBid and see if this is a blank area over here. This is where we can put the key indicators. So I would come in here to key indicators, and all I have to do is check this box, close it, and there's the key performance indicators. Now, if you see these three, all right, balance markup, indirect costs as a ratio of direct costs and total man hours, that is what comes default with HeavyBid. Now, I haven't mentioned this yet, but you have to have, in order to change these key performance indicators, you have to have the advanced or the comprehensive system. The basic version you cannot change, and you're stuck with these three. All right, so there's a lot of great features with the advanced version. If you have the basic versions, I highly recommend that you get with your salesperson and upgrade to the advanced version, because there's not only this, there's just a slew of other improvements or features that you'll really like, and well worth the cost. All right, so let's look at this first here. So those are my defaults right there, but we really don't want to just use these. What I usually do with new users is I go to click this again, I go to setup, and then I pretty much just go ahead and delete these three. All right, you can also send them back like that if you want to, but I'm just going to start fresh like that. Now, you can come over here and you notice there's a lot of ratios that already exist, a lot of information. For instance, let's just look at some of these right here. There is my, let's come on down. Let's see here. Here's my direct and indirect total cost by bid item. We could throw that over there. We can also come over here and do my markup. There's my margin right there, okay, by bid quantity. And you notice that a lot of these key indicators will differentiate between takeoff quantity and bid quantity. All right, so you be sure you know what you want when you set these up. All right, and there's the minority goal. So a lot of things you could just write. You don't even have to create a indicator. They're already there, and you can adjust where they, hierarchy right here with these arrow keys. I put OK, close, and there they are. All right, so there's one setup that you can do. What I like to do though is I'll come in here. Let's go ahead and return these back to where they came from. All right, we just used the left arrow right there. And I like to create key indicators, and I like to show the math because I think it's important too when you're looking at key indicators that you understand the ratio. So let's just set up a couple here. Go to new key indicator. Ones that I frequently set up is the balance margin and the actual margin. Okay, so actual margin is what your when you unbalance the job, that's your margin. And then I'll go over that in a minute. And then I have the balanced margin. All right, so I come down here and you notice right here I have markup. I want to go to balance and I'm going to do it by bid quantity. All right, I can do it by takeoff quantity too, or both. But right now I'm going to do balanced markup. So that's they call it left operand. You can call it the numerator. And a lot of times what I'll do to kind of make it fit is I'll change the description and just abbreviate like that. Now, if you want it as a percentage, then you want to use this right here, the last right there. Okay, or just a simple ratio, then you would use the division key right there. Right now I come down here and I'll come down here to balance bid. I want to keep it the same by bid quantity. And there it is right there. And I come in here and I'll change that to BQ. And I'll call this balanced margin. All right, I'll save that. And then sometimes I just have to click below it to refresh it. And let's go look at it real quick. All right, so here we see I got my balance markup by bid quantity. And then I got my balanced bid by bid quantity. Now look right here, they are different because I have bid quantity, takeoff quantity differences. So this is my actual right here. Let's go ahead and make one up now for takeoff quantity. Maybe I want to see that. So I come back in here and go to setup. Pretty easy to do. Oh, I want to go to new key indicator because we're creating another one now. This time I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do balanced markup by takeoff quantity. Again, I'm going to do my division, and then I'm going to do balance bid total by takeoff quantity. I want to keep them the same, and I'm going to call this balanced margin takeoff quantity. Okay, and then we'll see the difference here. There you go. So look right now, it agrees with this screen because this is balanced. Look right there. I got my 155,508. I got 1,558,000. So my actual margin, remember margin is a function of sales, right, is 9.98. If I go to my balance bid, right, because I have takeoff bid quantity differences, it's actually 9.9%. I don't think I have. Let's see if I have anything unbalanced. Well, it doesn't matter because this would be balanced. Okay, I haven't unbalanced yet. Then I would come back in here and I would probably do this. I'd go key indicators. And then I would do setup. Now I'm going to do my actual key indicator, my actual margin. All right, I'm going to come down here to, let's see here. I want my actual margin. Okay, I want actual markup by bid quantity. Again, I'm going to do a percentage, and then I'm going to do bid total because bid total is reflecting bid quantity, right? And I'm going to call this actual margin. If you want to, you can say bid quantity, but that's kind of redundant because it is going to be bid quantity anyway, right? So now I come in here, and there it is, actual margin. Right now it's balanced, right? So this right here, the first and the second one the third one is going to be, only difference is rounding. But let's come back into here now And now that I can come in here and let's just go ahead and balance a little bit. And let's say that's 75,000. Let's make that 25,000. Just unbalance that. Okay, here I got 19,000 here. I come back into bid summary and you can see there's my 11.18%. Or I come into bid pricing and look right there, 11.18%. So they agree because they are the same number. And what I like about it is I can see this information right from my summary screen. So a big thing a lot of people like to do is they like to know what their margin is, but obviously they're dealing with cost, a percentage of cost over here. So they could play with these numbers if they have a target number that they're looking for. And, in terms of margin, now if I do this, there we go. I can see it right away. I don't have to jump to my bid pricing screen. I can see, okay, there's my takeoff, 11.52 based on takeoff, and there's my balance margin based on bid quantity right there. All right, so that's nice to have that right in front of you without having to jump back and forth right here. Now, to take this a little further, you can also take calculations and make a calculation of that calculation. All right. I know that sounds a little complicated, but it's really not that hard. Let's say we want to do a new key indicator and we're going to come in here and we're going to take total cost by bid quantity and we're going to subtract out the equipment. All right. And we're going to come up here to total equipment. All right, and we're going to subtract that out, and we're going to say cost less equipment, and that's on, we are on bid quantity, okay? All right, and I don't have to show this over there. If I want to, I can. All right, now we're going to make another indicator. All right, and we're going to do, let's see here, let's do, that's my cost right there. So let's do a markup divided by cost. So let's do markup. Let's see here, and that's on, we said on bid quantity. So let's write there markup percent. That's markup percentage. We want to do actual markup. Okay, that's a percentage there. So we want to do actual markup or balance markup by bid quantity. And then what we can do is we can divide that by, or make a percentage. Let's make a percentage, and then we can do come down here to the bottom, and there's my cost less equipment right there. All right, on bid quantity, you see I'm matching up. I can adjust this so it'll fit. And then I can say markup less equipment cost. There you go. And then I want to show that. So, people have a lot of things that they do. They might want to subtract out equipment costs. They might want to subtract out the indirects. And you can get these ratios right here. There you go. And you can make them a calculation on top of a calculation. So there's how you can create your own key performance indicators that can be used in several places. One place right here, if we go back to key indicators and you go back to setup, you notice there's a send to insights. I'm not going to cover this today, but this will send this over to Precon, okay, insights. And then these will become your custom KPIs that you can compare and see where they lie with other estimates. Okay, and that's a whole another subject, but I would encourage you to pursue that. Another place that you can do is you can take any custom KPI here or anything that you want, and you can go over here to bid pricing And you can substitute this down here in the as one of these indicators. So I always encourage people to do that. First of all, I encourage people to rename these things right here. Markup, percentage by sales. That's bizarre to me. Not a definition, but just a description. Okay, you want to put margin there. All right, so you put setup here, and you can see right there. I got markup sales. I can come over here and I can say margin, and then I can say on bid quantity. That's all I really got to put. Margin is a percentage, and I can simplify that. Oh, look at that. Makes a lot more sense right there. Or I could come in here and I can substitute. I could take something out and I could put in my own KPIs. All right. So so instead of having those ratios um, where you can't see, where you have to continually go back to summary screen, and they might be affected by the actual bid price right here, then you definitely want to have them on this screen as an indicator. Okay, I'm going to conclude here with this uh, with these KPIs. I want to cover some more things that you can do with the KPIs, specifically in insights, and then maybe also in reports in another video.